Alright, welcome back to another Mechlab Monday. This week we are doing the Tortuga start, so we be pirates.
Check out this
Alright.
bay, Commander. Pretty great. The setup like
So
this, there's nothing I can't
that's not what I was expecting. That's not what I was expecting at all. What? I thought... Did they change Tortuga start to not be pirate tech anymore? When did that happen? And you start with a Grey Death standard? What? Okay. Well, in that case, this week we're doing the Urbie start.
check out this mech bay,
Yes,
Commander.
the Urbie
Pretty
start.
great, right?
That's what we're doing.
The setup
So
like this,
we're starting off with 4 omnimechs. That's something we can modify. I guess I could have changed the 2 Tortuga mechs, but I mean, really? Just changing 2 mechs isn't super interesting. But yeah, so normally in previous Mechlab Mondays, I would pass the day, get the soldier stuff, and then do it. But just to kind of promote the quote optimal path, pop into engineering, immediately start the power conduits. That way you can get Mech Bay 2 up and running as soon as possible. And then normally in the Mech Bay, we would look for a mech that we're probably not going to touch other than just armoring up or whatever. But pretty sure all of these need work. They did not start us with any of the great Urbies. So yeah, we're probably going to be working on all of them. So we'll just pass one day, get our soldier start stuff, and I actually should have looked, because if we don't have any Urbies that are super hot, because I know I saw one that had like machine guns, I saw one that had like a small laser. If we don't have the energy hardpoints to use the PPCs, well, I mean, it's still... So, the UAC 5, again, early game... I say again, in case you saw the previous Mechlab Monday, the UAC 5, the problem with it early game, it's a very well-rounded weapon system, especially for the mid and late game. But the problem with it early game is it does have a jam chance. If you're not using it in the double tap mode, where you're firing 2 shots at once, it's just a heavier AC5. But if you fire it times 2, then it has, I believe, a 15% jam chance, which doesn't sound like a lot. But if you only have 4 gunnery, then that's still a 12% jam chance. And even with lucky, that's still like a 10.5% jam chance. And if it jams and you only have 4 gunnery, you only have a 40% chance to unjam. So I would never take the UAC 5 with ammo at the start of the game for the soldier start. Just in case I didn't make that abundantly clear last time. The LRM-20 is going to be heavy. It's a 10-ton weapon system. But if you have a bunch of LRMs on your starting mechs, the ammo might be worth it. But the double heatsink kit is always good. Even if your mech runs cool, if you have double heatsinks in it, that means that even in a hot biome, or if you're getting hit with flamers and things, it's still good to have around. So I think I'm still going to go with the PPCs and double heatsink kit, even if I don't know what hard points the Urbies have. And we get UAC2 double bin. That's way more than you will ever need. 75 shots. So even if you're firing times 2 with a single UAC2, that's, what is that, actually? It's like 38 Alpha Strikes? So then even with 2 UAC2s, you'd still have way more than you ever need? Yeah, that's a lot of Alpha Strikes worth of ammo. So, double heat sinks, double heat sink kit, ER medium laser, interesting. Medium pulse laser, good to see. Some tandem SRM ammo. Tandem's really only great once you have a decent number of tubes. I mean, they are, you know, more likely to get through armor crits, and that's nice, but Other than that, kind of just worse than regular SRMs, unless you're stacking enough tubes that you can actually kill something in one shot. Artemis. Great if you have the Artemis fire control system, but if you don't, then they're useless. Yay. LK, I'm happy to see. If we have any SRMs or LRMs, boom. Just +1 accuracy. And AMS is not super common early game, so early game they're just great to have. Deadfire SRM ammo is actually very interesting. That -1 accuracy in exchange for 50% increased damage, like if that equates to like a 3 or 4% reduced hit chance, but every missile that does hit does 50% increased damage and +2 stability damage. Oh yeah, that's nice. The LRM Deadfire is also interesting because it reduces the minimum range, but it's not as interesting because I believe it's also a -2 accuracy. And once you get to 6 to 10% hit chance reduction, that's gonna hurt. Although I guess then again, Deadfire LRM ammo is better than firing inside minimum range with regular ammo. So, flare and smoke. So if we happen to have a mortar, those are good. Smoke you can use to either cover your units to reduce the enemy accuracy hitting them, or obviously you can drop it on the enemies to have their hit chance reduced, but it does again make your shots on them slightly less accurate. So its best use is actually to drop it on enemies you're not immediately engaging while you engage like a secondary lance or something. Flare just helps you detect and thus not have the no sensors penalty, so it's actually quite amazing early game. Probably the best mortar ammo for the early game, in my opinion, just because it does help shore up the low tactics that your mech warriors will have. We got some UAC-10 safe ammo, which is only 4 alpha strikes, so AC-5 double bin, 50 shots. Yeah, never gonna use that. MRM improved. Again, it's the LK of MRMs. So if we have an MRM launcher, that's nice to have. We have a UAC-10, but again, all we have is the one safe bin. That's only 4 alpha strikes. It's not worth it. But yeah, if you can pull off, like, you can fire at ×1 until you say get into somebody's back and then double tap with it, and only risk jamming when you actually can, make perfect, best use of it. But it's whatever. C3 Slave, unfortunately, based on the way I understand, I haven't experimented much with the C3s since the save break, but the way I understand it is they don't really do much of anything unless you happen to also have a C3 Master floating around. The PPCs we got, Sarah Smasher and PPC Donald. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Somebody commented last time. There was a PPC, I don't remember which one, that I was like, what does it do? Yeah, so the Sarah Smasher is you can fire the field inhibitor off and not blow up your PPC. The Donald's AoE, so it wasn't one of those. Moving on. Guardian ECM, I actually love to see that. Early game, whenever the enemy's tactics are also low, Guardian ECMs are amazing. So effectively, every 2 tactics gives you 1 sensor roll, right? That means a Guardian ECM effectively reduces the enemy's tactics score by 6 if it's 6 if it's active, I believe, because it jams enemies by 3, and so if it's active, it reduces all the enemies in the area, their tactics, effectively by 6 for the sensor roll. And then if they're trying to also shoot the mech carrying it, then that further reduces it by 2. Or you can just have it in passive mode where anyone's shooting, regardless of what range they're at or whether or not they're within range. The passive ECM will protect this particular mech. But early game, whenever you only have ECM on like 1 mech, it's usually better to put the ECM active and have it protecting all the mechs from whoever whoever's close to the mech carrying it, so toss it on a lighter mech, preferably. But, yes. Guardian ECM, or Angel ECM as well, although Angel ECM's half a ton heavier, but it's still, you know, an extra, effectively, to Tactics Negation. In any case, that's an entire thing I'm going to cover at some point with the comprehensive guide, so just, yeah, rambling aside. SRM4 Streak, if we have the ammo. So this is 22, no, actually more than that, because it's 40, 20 would be 80, 2 would be another 8, so it's actually 24, right? Something like that. 25? No, it's 25, yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little tired, so. Yes, 100 divided by 4 is in fact 25, so it's 25 Alpha Strikes. A bit overkill unless we also have another Streak 4 or a Streak 6 floating on that we can use. But Streaks, I love them. Some people don't care for them, but I absolutely love them. The bonus accuracy and evasion is nice. That's what people tend to focus on. But the thing that I really love about them is Streak launchers only fire, thus using ammo, but more importantly, only generating heat if every missile hits. So it's nice that you can make a mech a little bit on the hot side, and it only actually generates the heat if it does the full damage. Very nice. Speaking of heat, AC-10 Incendiary. Okay. It's viable, especially early game. A single shot generating 24 heat and then also generating 12 extra heat for 2 turns. When they only have single heat sinks, that's a lot. We got UAC-20 Caseless, which is 5 Alpha Strikes that also increase heat and jam chance by 15%. Yeah, so actually, as funny as it is, this technically would run a UAC-20 for a battle. Because you could fire it ×1, which is basically just an AC-20, until you get a really good shot with a really good hit chance. And then when you double shot, it's almost guaranteed to jam, because I think the UAC-20's base jam chance is like 30 or 40 or 50%. It's very high and very crazy. But you do get the 200 damage Alpha Strike out of it. So after that, it's guaranteed to be jammed for at least 1 turn, but since it's early game and your mech warriors have terrible gunnery, it's probably going to be down for 2 or 3 turns before you can shoot again. So, yeah, if you get, say, two Alpha Strikes and then 6 regular, just AC-20 shots, you could absolutely run it on... Actually, that's a question. If it's a 15% increased jam chance, does it have a jam chance firing in single shot mode? I have never tested that, actually. Leave it in the comments if you know offhand. Because, yeah, I've never actually tested that. I've never had a ultra autocannon with caseless ammo, largely because I don't like my ammo being volatile whenever it exploding literally will destroy the entire mech in one go. But, it is a way to save a little bit of tonnage if you use a caseless bin instead of a double bin for the same, well, it would actually be the same as 2 single. Either way, you save a ton. That's what you get when you put a ton of caseless in, you're saving a ton compared to regular ammo. But I usually just make an allowance for that extra ton rather than use caseless and risk this cooking off before it shoots for 1,000 damage, because each shot's 100 damage. So if this cooks off without firing anything, that's 1,000 damage to the location it's in. Hope you brought case. Alright, mortar ammo. Pretty useless unless you have a whole lot of tubes. I say that, okay. Early game mortar ammo, just base mortar ammo, can be useful against light mechs. The problem with it is, since it does have the scatter, you're not guaranteed the 4 area of effect damage per tube. So if it scatters too widely, you might not really get any damage. Or if you do, it might be very, very little. But if you do get a good clustering right on top of a light mech, you do ignore its evasion. So, again, I really feel like it comes down to the number of tubes you have. If you don't have enough mortar tubes, then standard ammo is just kind of whatever. UAC-20 regular bin. If we have a UAC-20, I would love to put a UAC-20 on the Urbie, both to test the caseless thing and also because it's an Urbie with a UAC-20. I'm hoping. We're almost to the bottom of the list, though. LB-20 Slug, heavy jump jets, not going to be able to use those for a long while. Narc Beacon, UAC-10 ammo, Rack-5 ammo. I never use hypervelocity autocannons because I don't like my weapons to explode. And also, they usually have a pretty, you know... I think the hypervelocities are the ones that have the pretty severe minimum range. Don't quote me on that. LB-2 Slug, UAC-2. So yeah, we have literally more UAC-2 ammo than we know what to do with. A single bin would be enough to run, well, one UAC-2, 15 Alpha Strikes. That's crazy. 75 though, like, yeah, 75 out, like, so yeah, that is like 30 something Alpha Strikes, 30, 36, something like that, for a single UAC-2. And two UAC-2s, it would still be like 17, 18 Alpha Strikes for 2 UAC-2s. But if you have 3, then it's only 12 and a half Alpha Strikes, right? I think that's how math works. All right, we have an LB-10 and an LB-5. But we got LB-20 and LB-2 ammo. Unfortunate. I do like LBX autocannons early game. If you put the cluster ammo in them, you could get hits that you otherwise wouldn't, basically. Use a ballistic hardpoint for a little bit of splash damage, and can be very helpful. But, unfortunately, does not appear we can do that. We got an AC-10. There we go. Hypervelocity autocannon. Yeah, minimum range. So, AC-5s don't usually have a minimum range. But Hypervelocity AC-5 has a 60-meter minimum range. Has a 6% chance of misfiring, and the weapon can explode for 45 damage per shot loaded. Okay. That's unfortunate. But luckily, I think that's only 45. I'm pretty sure the per shot loaded is only the ammo it can shoot per turn, basically. Does have an anti-air factor of 10. I still actually don't know what the anti-air factor means. So, yeah, further research needs to be done. The changes from the save break are kind of new. And then we also, yeah, we got the LRM-15, cool, alright. So we did not get the UAC-20 to use the UAC-20 ammo. But that's fine. So what can we actually do with these? We have a ballistic and 2 energy here. So we've got LB-10, small pulse, small laser. Okay. Out of curiosity, what's the speed on these things? Oh, bad. Oh, so bad. 2-3. Oof. 2-3. Also 2-3. And 2-3. Okay. Well then. Is there a bigger core? No, not command center. Store. Is there a bigger core for sale? Yes, there are much bigger cores for sale. How big would we need? 30 tonner. So 30 tonner. A 180 would be 6 hex move. Let's make a fast Urbie. All right.
New equipment available.
Now it's going to be significant tonnage. I mean, the LB-10 is fine. It's got a much longer range than like regular AC-10. Yeah, extra 120 meters. So I think we'll leave that one definitely as one of the waddlers. Although I do want to refit to... That's not right. Let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, so we have the LB10. We're going to drop the 2 jump. It only had 2... the engine core. It's an engine core 60, so it was only allowed 2 jump jets. Alright. Got it. Alright, we're going to take all the heat sinks out, because I think this is going to be our double heat sink mech. We're going to drop in the double heat sink kit. We need 8 heat sinks for the 60 core. Okay. Okay. In that case... So I was going to put the pulse laser and the ER medium on it. So I was going to use the double heatsink kit for that. But I only have 5 double heatsinks, and I would need 8 double heatsinks for the 60 core. So I think we're going to go back to the shop, and we're going to look for a bigger core. And hopefully there's a 120? 90? 110. I'll take a 110. We'll deal with 110. Available. I don't want it to be too heavy. Oh, yeah, this is tricky. Because adding the bigger core is going to add a lot of weight. And I'm not making weight by removing these heat sinks. Because they were all engine heat sinks. So I'm actually probably not going to be able to even do this. I mean... Oh, wow. 110 still minus 6. Okay. Cool. Store. I can't even afford another, Can't even afford another engine core, can I? I mean, I can, but then I won't be able to get Mech Bay 2. Does this even work? Is this even viable? If I drop all the heat sinks and all of the jump jets and the lasers, actually just small pulse laser. No, actually, no, that was the 110 core. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to. No, we're not. Oh, wait. Nope. Because, yeah. Alright. Oof. I just wasted all my starting money on engine cores I can't use. Like, realistically, I cannot use them. Not really. And the double heatsink kit is completely useless because our Urbies are all running 60 cores. Okay, you know, I don't normally do this, but I think given the fact that we do not have, like, anything we need. We do not have matching weapons and ammo for basically anything. So I think I'm going to re-roll the soldier start. Give me just a moment. Alright, so contrary to what I was just saying, I think I'm actually going to take the UAC-5. Real quick though, engineering, power systems, power conduits. You need it for the Mech Bay 2. Most important thing to start with. It also gives you mech tech whenever it's done. So,
check out this mech
since all of our... I reloaded the same save, so this is still the same 4 urban mechs that are all ballistic only. Or ballistic in energy. So, since we know they all have 60 cores, we're not going to be able to use a double heatsink kit until we get a new chassis anyway. So, we might as well ignore the double heatsink kit and just grab the thing we might actually be able to use, which we should be able to since there's AC-10s and a UAC-5 is lighter. What? We got a prototype heatsink? What? I didn't even know that was a thing you could... Okay, whatever. So we got ourselves a prototype heatsink kit. We're not going to be able to use it because we don't have any proto heatsinks, but, like, that's insane. Yeah, because that's a very like we could actually just sell it. legitimately, if we needed the money, we could just sell it right now. And just have a couple million extra C-bills. Well, maybe not that much. It probably sells for, I think the default is 13%. So, still like 400,000, 500,000. That's C-bills right there. Or just hold on to it till you get some protos or a 250 core. Because as soon as you have a 250 core, you can throw this in to just have minus 20% heat generated. That's awesome. Anyway, we have AP AC20. Mask I'm actually probably going to use. Like, no joke, I think that extra hex at the risk of critting our legs, I think that's actually viable. Because, like, yeah, the, being able to move an extra hex when you're only moving 3 on a sprint, I think that actually gets you 1 evasion when it otherwise wouldn't. But also, you know, we're going to have trouble closing with enemies. So we can have a potentially slightly shorter range Urbie. Or maybe even get that 110 core that we saw in the store. And then put the mask on that Urbie. If it doesn't have an AC10, an LB10 specifically, then it might have the tonnage to do it. I don't know. We'll see. We got a binary laser. Okay. It's max range 720, but it has damage and heat, or damage fall off, so not exactly what you want on a slow-moving mech. The ER large laser, on the other hand, is exactly what you want on a slow-moving mech. Max range 840, no damage fall off, is just a laser. 1 slot, 5 tons, and you got an 840 meter, 45 damage, pew-pew laser. Pair of SRM6 streaks. Would love to put those on a mech, but we don't have any missile hardpoints at all. So, UAV, only useful if your mech is able to get in range to actually ping people with it. We're going to be waddling, so that's not really an option. Wow, we are... Oh, please tell me it's not a double bin. Please tell me they give us a single bin of ammo. Otherwise, the UAC-5, that's like way too much ammo. Especially since firing ×2, we're going to jam. Like, not if, win. Just it's a win. It's not an if. SRM ammo, again, useless because of the Urbie start that gave us nothing but ballistic and energy hardpoints. I would actually, despite the mess that I was just talking about, early game mortars, I would absolutely slap a mortar with standard mortar ammo on one of those Urbies, because the one thing, while it's not reliable damage really, and while it's not heavy damage, the fact that you can just lob it indirectly across the entire map makes mortars very attractive when you're dealing with Urbies. We got a random compact heatsink, okay. Double bin of AMS. Machine gun tracer. We're not ever going to get close enough to use machine guns, I don't think. We get an exchanger double plus. That's really good. So, yeah. That's a thing. MRM 40, MRM 30, MRM 20. What is this? Like, a heat bank as well. Yeah, and an SRM4. And they are giving us all the missiles in the world, and we have not a single missile hardpoint. And no, it looks like it is the UAC-5 with the single double bin. No, there it is. There's a single bin. Okay. I don't know what part of this was random and what part of it was from us picking the UAC-5, but yeah, so the single bin is 10 alpha strikes. But again, if we're alpha striking double shots, it's going to jam, it's going to have to unjam. 20 is plenty early game. I don't think we're ever going to run out of ammo, especially if I do stick with the fire it as an AC-5 until there's an opportunity with a really high hit chance. 20 will be fine. We will make do with 20, no problem. We do have an LB10. Okay, now I'm interested to see, did we have LB10 and we have LB5 cluster, we have LB20 cluster, we do not. Okay. I'm hoping I missed. Nope, I did not miss any LB20, I mean LB10. Okay. I would have loved to have put a LB10 on another one of the mechs. Yeah, okay. So we have an LB10 and literally every other kind of LB ammo. Alright. AC2, I don't think there was AC2 ammo either. AC2 is also good on a slower mover, since it has a 960 meter max range, but it only does 25 damage. Of course, 25 is more than 0 if you're not in range to shoot at people. So, yeah, the LB10 is just nice because it has the 720 meter range. But yeah, no, we have LB2, we have LB5, we have LB20, we do not have LB10. And that's the soldier start for you. Okay, with that, what do? Alright. First things first, I do want to make one of the Urbies a little bit quicker. Also, we didn't get the Guardian ECM, so that's unfortunate. But we got an Exchanger Double Plus and a Heat Bank Plus, so that's cool. Cool. Literally, that's
new equipment available.
Unintentional pun is unintentional. In any case, so we know we can drop the 110 core here and drop the small pulse laser, basically. And if we drop the small laser as well, then we can also up armor a little bit. And I think, but we only have 10 shots with the LB10. If we haven't won the mission in 10 shots and 10 alpha strikes, we're gonna have to run up and punch. That's the problem with running all ballistics early game. But the 110 core also gives us the ability to actually like get in range to shoot the lasers. Oh no. Oh no. That, I don't know. This is tough. This is really tough. Okay, so who is gonna have the? I think we're gonna put the UAC 5 on one of these mechs that only has 2 ballistic hard points. We're gonna drop all that. We're gonna give it the UAC 5, and we're gonna give it the single bin. And we'll put it in the leg, mostly so that if the leg gets open, there's 5 other things that can be crit, which is more than if we put it with the 4 heat sinks. Then again, actually, hold on. Yeah. We're gonna make a shield side, and also, if they open our side torso, the odds of them actually critting the ammo is quite low because we have so many heat sinks that it might actually roll on. Alright. And then we have half a ton. With nothing but 1 more ballistic hardpoint. So that's the point where we absolutely just armor up. The important part. We don't have we have 5 tons. What? Wait. UAC 5 is 9 tons. Ah, the UAC 5 is so much lighter. Hello. Okay. I know what we're doing. So, 1 ballistic, 2 energy. 2 ballistic, 1 energy. 2 ballistic, 2 ballistic. We're going to take this one. We're going to replace the LB10 with the UAC 5. Right? Right. There we go. We're going to do the same thing that we were going to do on that mech. And put all of the heat sinks there, drop the jump jets, put all of the heat sinks there. Actually, no, we can't do that now. Because now we actually are going to have weapons on our right arm. But we're going to drop the 2 lasers there. Can we actually? No, we can only do the large. And only if we drop half a ton somehow. This would be our heavy hitter. But how? How do we get half a ton? And how do we armor up? Because we didn't start, unfortunately, with any kind of Pharaoh or Indo or anything. So I guess we kind of can't. Like, the only thing we can adjust to make room for that large laser would be dropping armor. I mean, we can go medium pulse laser, but that's only 240. Like, that's... that range is not adequate to really go slow at all. Binary laser is even heavier than the ER large. That's unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. Alternatively, actually, hold on. Actually, can we actually? We can. But our heat efficiency is absolute garbage. How about if we give it a heat bank and exchanger? Still pretty garbage. Oh man. I honestly don't know how to play this Urbie start. I think your best bet if you're going with an Urbie start is to just get a mech. To have the Urbies assisting the better mech until you get the Pharaoh and Indo and things that you need to actually have the tonnage on an Urbie to do something. Because as it stands right now, I don't have the tools to make this good, basically. I mean, it doesn't help that we got literally the worst possible selection of Urbies. There are Urbies that have missile hardpoints. We just didn't get any. Of course, even if we did, I mean, like, MRM 20... Actually, MRM 20 is only 7 tons. And 540 meter range is adequate. At least early game, whenever stuff's usually moving at you pretty quick and not doing a whole lot of damage. Yeah, MRM 20 or even an MRM 30 on an Urbie is quite strong. But we don't have any missile hardpoints, so... I mean, I could just re-roll the entire Urbie start, look at what I've got, and then... Nah, let's just play with what we were given. But how? That's the trick of it. The how. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I am at a loss. You know what? I really don't think there's a whole lot we can do, honestly. I mean, if we put the UAC-5 here, with UAC-5 ammo, drop the jump jets, replace the small laser with the large, drop the machine gun, and then give it the heat bank and the exchanger. Okay. But why? Why does this work on this one and not on the other one? Or did it and I just was distracted because it had 2 energy hardpoints? That is what happened, isn't it? Yeah, let's do this. And then... Okay. And then just armor up a little bit. We don't really have a shield side at all. I'm actually going to drop some back armor for some more side armor. I'm actually also going to shift. So the majority of the heat is generated by the laser. 36 versus 8. So if we lose this side torso, then this will only be 6 heat gone, which will be less than what the UAC-5 was generating. meaning that we're still able to fire the large laser ad nauseum until we explode. So I think that is the best. Actually, I think even putting, well, if the side torso pops, then the large laser's gone. We don't care anymore. So yeah, no, we can just do that. And that's this Urbie ready, I guess. I think we use the 2 energy hard points for shorter range weapons. I think we legitimately make this the faster Urbie. Alright, so we need the 110 core. Boom. Alright, so it's minus 6 heatsink tons, but we're actually gonna, I think, try to use the binary laser here. And so we're actually gonna need extra heatsinks rather than fewer. No, actually we can't, because the binary laser, well, I mean, we could. We'd be hot. We'd be really hot. So we'd have to fire with it's only a 9 heat delta. So we could actually fire twice before we would need to take a turn off to cool down. Which, I mean, it is 65 to 95 damage pinpoint, with a very high crit chance for a laser. Now, yes, the damage does fall off to 50% at less than 360 meters. However, we have the 110 core. So instead of going 2-3, we're going 3-5, almost twice as fast. So we can get into that optimal range more quickly. Why not? Add in a small laser. Why not? Okay. Because, like, other than that, I could put half a ton of armor, but that's whatever, because we actually have a shield side. But then again, that would also make it a little bit hot. Yeah, no, we'll go ahead and put armor on. We cannot afford to lose the one side that actually has a weapon. There we go. This is so bad. But we're gonna make it best. We're gonna make the best of what we can. We're gonna make the best of what we can. Then we have these guys with 2 ballistic only. What am I doing here? One of them obviously is getting the LB10, which is the exact same tonnage. Actually, no, it's lighter. 11 versus 12? Yeah, it's lighter. Huh. Okay. LB10 cluster. And then if you drop the machine gun, we have nothing else we can add in there. We could add the mask. Once again, the 2-4. Yeah. Let's drop the jump jets and armor up. And put all this over here. Actually, put 2 in the center, so that if the center gets open, that's less likely to engine crit, because an engine crit will cause additional heat per turn and potentially kill the mech. So yeah. It's going to be waddling a little bit faster than the others. So let's go ahead and put the UAV on it. Sure. I don't think it's going to actually help any, but okay. I mean, I could put the machine gun back on, just on the off chance it does ever get into range. Actually, if we're putting the... but the LB10 is the reason we have the tonnage for the... Well, not necessarily, actually. Hold on. If we go AC10 and just don't armor up the shield side as much, don't armor up the legs as much. Well, no, because the legs will take damage if and when, I should say just when, the mask crits. So, something like that, I think. Because the AC-10 has a shorter max range than the LB-10. So we've got a decent chunk of armor. We have our single coin flip weapon. Okay. Okay.
Right. I'll get it in the
And then the last one is going to get the LB-10. It's not going to have a mask, but that's fine. Yeah, if we could somehow get Indo Pharaoh and maybe an XL, and I would love to have dual LB-10s on an Urbie. That would be hilarious. But yeah. I think our best bet is just armor up everything, and oh boy, this mission's gonna be tricky. I don't think, actually, hold on. We do have 1 ton here. But again, I don't think the C3 is doing anything. All company units with C3 master gear receive plus 3% sensors and plus 2% sight distance and plus 1 sensor check. Let's test it. Why not? I mean, why not? Oh hey, it still has jump jets. Let's get rid of those and... put the machine gun back, I guess. And then drop a little bit of armor off the machine gun side because, yeah, it's a machine gun. Who cares if we lose it? Alright. Sure. For science. Okay. So we've got the Argo upgrade working. That, yeah. I mean, I guess I could have looked in the store to see if there was any ballistic options. There was not. IFF jammer is actually very interesting. I think I'm actually going to buy it.
New equipment available.
That will actually help. Would a thermal mass actually... No, because we already have the... Wait, do we have the... Or was the exchanger and heat bank... Yeah, the exchanger and heat bank's in the large laser build. So... Absorbs heat when you hit the red line, but equalizes it over the next 3 rounds. So... it would give us the option to overheat, and then we're already not firing the turn after anyway. So yeah, no, it's better to just manage the heat properly, honestly, I think. I've never been a fan of thermal masses, but I know some people who have probably found success with them. Okay. But more importantly, we're gonna get out of here. We're going to go to a lower skull planet because I'm pretty sure this one is not. Yeah, it's 2.5. I mean, if I felt confident dropping on a 1.5 skull mission, we would absolutely do so, but these Urbies are not capable, I don't think, of winning a 1.5 skull. Definitely avoid the orange because the orange is not actually. The orange missions, oh man, that would be terrible. Okay. If you have nothing but direct fire mechs that are also super slow, do not fight in cities. You will get shredded by any indirect fire they have before you actually get into proper, firing positions. It will take forever. We can actually go off towards... I mean, that is a water world, but we don't actually really care too much about heat, except for the one Urbie. Tropical world and moons. Interesting. But it's 2.5 skull. 4 skull, 4 skull. There we go. Rich, so the store should be pretty good. It's a tropical world with moons, sure. And, yeah. We're gonna do that. And, sure. I also probably should have checked the hiring hall, but, I honestly don't know which mech warriors in the current patch are, you know, best or not. So I'm going to wait until I have some more experience playing with the different various, what's it? The various Ronin that you can come across now. And then I'll start doing, not navigation, engineering. Then I'll start looking at the hiring halls again to make educated commentary on what to look for when... Oops, that's not right. I love it when this... I love it when this happens. Did that fix it? No, that made it worse. Okay. Alright, all fixed. Cool. We could actually look at our barracks and possibly fire somebody who's very expensive. Like, no, Grandpa's fine.
What do you need, Commander?
It's fine.
Orders? Yeah, Commander.
Do we not have any of the, like, 100,000 Seaville people? No. Apparently we don't. Good. Alright. Moving on. Oh, man. I really... Apparently we've arrived. Okay. What does the store have? Advanced optics. Okay, that's actually very interesting. Immediately buying the advanced optics. Immediately. Not a moment of hesitation. Other than that, nothing we can... Well... We are lacking in weaponry.
Weapon systems available.
So that'll give us... That'll help.
New equipment available.
Oh! Financial report. Hey, you know what? Remember what I was saying about that prototype heatsink kit? Yeah, we're gonna do that. And the jump jet, the heavy jump jet, yeah. And all the standard jump jets, yeah. Get rid of all that. Give us some C-bills. Okay.
Welcome to the Greece.
So this mech is the one with the UAC-5 that has the large laser, the heat bank, and the exchanger. Cool. All right. And then I believe the next one that comes available. Yeah. Flashpoint's neat. Okay. Mech Bay 2 and engineering. We should have enough for refit and repair. 300,000. Oh man, that's cutting it close.
I'll get the crew moving.
We have exactly enough left for this financial report. But that's fine, because after the financial report... Uh-oh. We'll take a treat. No lasting consequences. Okay. And... Yeah, this is a Halloween event, I'm pretty sure. Apparently it's still going on as of November 6th. Okay. But, yeah. I don't think any of our Urbies have hands. But, the rotting endosteel... But again, I don't really want to use it because I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's like a limited thing. I don't know. I'm just not going to mess with it. So, Urban Mech that has the binary laser now also gets a heat bank plus. That helps so much. Oh yeah. Delta of 3 now. We can shoot it every single turn. And because of that, we're also going to get the IFF jammer. So this thing is able to shoot the binary laser just about every single turn. Is slightly quicker than the other Urbies we have. Still lacking on armor, but the IFF jammer will give it a little bit of protection. And I literally just the slightest bit of protection against being hit. And that's it. So there's that.
On it. know when
Also, that needs to be first. Because once the automation's done, they'll all be going at the same speed. Alright.
Hey boss, we've just
Cool.
completed those upgrades.
So now we've got 8 days, 5 days, 2 days. So that means this will be taking the first mech base slot for the full 8 days. This is the second mech base slot for 5 days, and this is the second mech base slot for 2 days. So in 8 days, we will be able to drop. Which is good, because we have just about no money left. So let's do that. Financial... How? What changed? I didn't save. Oh. Oh. Okay. Alright. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna say this one's doomed. This episode of Mechlab Monday. So realistically, what was probably going to happen once I dropped on a mission was I was probably going to get blasted as I waddled towards whatever opposition I had, and yeah, it would have been rough. I don't usually nope out of the Mechlab Mondays, but I showed you how I would have built them. If you go with the Urbie, do so at your own risk. Yeah. That's been your Mechlab Monday for the week. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good one.